Welcome back to Catalan Soccer, guys. I'm Catalan Ben, and today we're bringing you the review of the Uno by Playermaker. We've waited a long time to get our hands on this piece of kit, so let's get straight into the review. Now, first of all, what is the Uno? Now, the Uno is a really clever product that attaches to your football boots whilst you are playing or training on the pitch. Now, because the Uno is constantly attached to your boots while you're playing, it records some very clever metrics on your touches, your frequency, your speed, and your ball power. So there's lots of different metrics that can be tracked whilst you're playing and then fed back to your phone or any mobile device so you can record and track that data. Now, for anybody who's used a GPS tracker before to record things like your top speed and your distance covered, then you're along the right lines with the Uno. However, the Uno records a lot more stats because this is connected to the feet, not just the torso. So because this connects to the feet, it can also record how many touches you take on your weak foot, every time you receive the ball, every time you send the ball, any long spells of possession or dribbles where you take several touches close together, or when you are passing the ball or shooting, it's recording the distance and the stats as you go. Now, through the Uno app that you can download onto your phone, you can then track your statistics and your development over a long period of time. It also gives you benchmarks and targets to try and hit, to try and improve on your data. Plus, it lets you benchmark against other players from around the world. So it has leaderboards built into the app where you can check the top speeds that people are reaching, the number of touches people take, their maximum ball velocity from shooting, crossing, and things like that. So all those metrics that you're tracking aren't just for yourself, they're to compare your stats against other players who play in the same position as you. Now, all this data is very cleverly recorded through the small sensors that you insert into your boots. So here's how it works. There's a very small strap that fits around the outside of the boot. It's non-intrusive, it's not heavy, and altogether it only weighs 6 grams when the sensor is installed. So you don't really notice it once it's on your foot. But what you will notice is the incredible stats and the metrics that you get back out of it after you finish your session. Now, in the box, you get quite a few handy little tools. You get a quick start guide that explains how to set it up, how to pair it to your phone, and how the charging works. You also get your charger, which is a USB-C type charger, which connects directly into the bottom of the Uno pod. Similar to AirPods, there's a small charging port at the bottom, and then you just slip your sensors back into the pod after each session, and as you charge, the lights on the front of the pod show you either a red, orange, or green light to let you know how much charge you've got. It also comes with a couple of little cleaning brushes, and it comes with this keyring hook to hang it onto your keys so you don't misplace it or lose it, or you can attach it to your boot bag. Now, there's a few upsides to the Uno that you don't get from a GPS tracker. So whilst they're very similar in price, we found that with the Uno, it records a lot of metrics that you can't get with a GPS tracker, such as all the ball touches, the recoveries of possession, the power in your kicks and things like that. But we also can use this indoor. So for anybody who plays futsal or sports like that, where you can't use a GPS tracker because you're inside a building, you can still use the Uno, which is an excellent addition to it. You also might have seen products like the Wearable Smart Ball or the Adidas My Coach, and those apps are very clever because they record ball touches and they record the power in your kicks, but this does that too. So this is a great blend of the incredible metrics you can get on distances and speed from a GPS tracker, but with all the ball metrics that you would get from either a smart ball or from an additional app that records like the Dribble Up. But when you put all those together, the Uno gives you all those metrics at the same time and can be recorded straight back to your phone very quickly, just syncs via Bluetooth, and literally you get the data back within minutes. The Uno's been very cleverly designed to fit on the outside of the heel. Now, that's probably the area that you will use the least when you're on a football pitch or controlling the ball. So it's a very clever place to put the Uno, and it means that it doesn't obstruct any of your touches. It's not on the inside of the foot or the laces or even the heel or the sole, where any of those places it could obstruct ball touches. So it's put in the perfect position, and that means that when you're playing, it's always connected and you're always tracking your data as you play, even in a match. So if you're wondering where to spend your money to record the best data, would you buy a GPS tracker, would you buy a smart ball, or would you buy the Uno? For us, the Uno records the best of everything. You get the GPS data, you get the smart ball tracker information, but you also get all the ball touches too. So this is all the best of both worlds, all in one device. Pricing. Now, the Uno retails at £250 here in the UK, and it's a similar price in dollars in the US as well. But keep your eye out for offers on the Playermaker website or on their Facebook pages and social media accounts. They do sometimes have offers, and we've seen these priced at as low as £200, which is excellent value for money. So when it comes to the pricing of it, such a unique product that we've not seen anywhere else, I don't feel like £200 to £250 is overpriced in any way. We'd recommend this product to players who take their football very seriously, to coaches who maybe have one-to-one sessions or have teams where they're trying to develop specific areas of play or develop their players. So if you're the kind of footballer who's taking their development seriously, you're trying to push yourself through an academy pathway, and you're really trying to become a professional footballer, then a device like this could be your new best friend. The Uno really is one of the most creative products that we've seen in the football market for some time. A lot of football products that come out are just a reinvention of something you've already seen before, and it's just got some new bells and whistles on it. This is a brand new product that we've not seen before in this way, and is a very clever and streamlined system to make sure it fits closely to your foot, is constantly recording the data, gives you the feedback very quickly, and has really had a lot of time and effort and software development done to make sure that it's football metrics that are specific to you, that are very relevant to the game, and are really going to give you some worthwhile feedback on how you play. Now, the sizing of the straps means that a UK size 3 can wear the straps right up to an adult, and that means that kids as young as 8 or 9 or 10 years old could be wearing the Uno for either matches or for training sessions. Now, I got an Uno for my little boy, set him all up on the app, recorded the data as he was playing, he strapped up his boots ready for the game, and I've never seen him as excited to play in a match. He couldn't wait to see the data, he couldn't wait to prove how good he was on his weak foot as well as his strong foot, and he knew that there would be a tangible recorded number for how well he'd done with his weak foot as well as his strong foot. After the game, he was dying to see the stats, and we really enjoyed going back through it and then comparing week on week on week the development and how well he was doing. Not only is this a very good product that could be used for players who take their football very seriously, this is also a great product for parents. If you're trying to reinvigorate your child, if you want them to get their love of football back, if you feel like through lockdowns and COVID and everything else that stopped your child playing, they've maybe fallen out of the love with the game a little bit, then this is a great way to get your kid to fall in love back with football. The way that this gamifies the sport and gets it feeling almost like a FIFA game, where after their session or after their match, it can be recording the data, they can go back through it and they can check all that data out. That statistical and analytical data is invaluable to a kid. You can give them real information in real time for how well they're doing, and all the great ways that they're developing their game can be fed back to them directly through the app. Speaking from personal experience as a parent, I know that this really helped my little boy. When he was playing in the games, I found that sometimes he was coasting through matches. He didn't look as though he really was that bothered about being on the pitch. And he was probably going through a phase where, like I said, because of lockdowns and COVID and everything else, he probably wasn't that in love with football at that time. The Uno's really helped invigorate that. He now can't wait to get his boots on. He's dying for a Sunday. He can't wait for his training sessions. And it's all because the data and the feedback that this app gives him really helps reinvigorate him and get him back on the pitch wanting to play more. Now, there might be some skeptics out there on the data and the analysis that this app will give you. Now, we've recorded sessions where we have literally made sure that we took an exact number of touches of the ball and then recorded that back on the app to make sure that the data that the app is producing is accurate. We did a session where we took 75 touches with the left foot and 75 touches with the right foot, some of them ball mastery touches, keeping possession, and some of them sending and receiving the ball, to check that the data was correct. When we checked back through the app, there was a very, very small margin for error. Out of 150 touches that we recorded, the app recorded 148. Now we have to make some allowances for the fact that this device is using an accelerometer and is recording very small vibrations and touches of the ball and very small movements of the foot. So there is always a tolerance, and 148 out of 150 touches, plus it got a very good balance of what was on the left and what was on the right, Is it 100% perfect? No, but most products aren't. Anybody who's used GPS data before for their tracking will have had the random ping that comes off someone's smartwatch from 200 yards away, and your top speed and sprint sometimes doesn't record as high as it should have done or faster than it should have done, and you know that the data is incorrect. So even with GPS data, which is satellite imagery, which should be very, very accurate, you still get issues. And this, we found, from a 98 or 99% accuracy, you couldn't get much better data than the Uno gives you. One of the most fun parts of the app is that it records the top speed that your foot reaches on striking the ball. And I'll be honest, I must have spent 40 to 45 minutes trying to set the highest possible score I could. Every time you hit a ball, if it gets a good score, you want to try and beat it. If it gets a bad score, because you know that you've got a bad connection, you're constantly thinking, give me another ball, I want to hit another one. So it's great for shooting training too, and you can give feedback to players very quickly on how well they are doing with their shot power. Not only is that shot power then great to show kids how powerful they are, but it can also help when you're training young players to build the right technique. And you can prove that through a progressive period of building better technique, then the power and the stats that you see from those power and from that ball velocity gets higher and higher because the technique is improving. Downsides. Now, every product does have to have its downsides, and we try to make sure with all our reviews that we give a well-balanced review. And whilst we absolutely love this product, we have to make sure that you guys are aware of any potential issues that you may find with it too. Now, whilst we were playing in a training game, we did find a couple of times that somebody's studs got caught on the rubber and pulled the Uno away from the boot. It's very quick to get it back on your boot, and it only took a couple of seconds to rectify, but because it is on the outside, it's an external feature on the outside of the boot, it can be caught in tackles or, from someone's studs dragging down your foot and instances like that. It didn't happen very often, and it's not something that you should worry about too frequently, but just be aware that that could happen during a match or during a training session. Now, the straps come in two colours. We get a grey or a black, and the grey is the medium size, which then goes right down to the size 3 that kids can wear, and then the black is the larger size, usually for adults or players with larger feet. There's all different colours of boots that you can buy out there on the market at the moment, and some of the biggest brands are producing some excellent and different varied colourways that kids love to buy. So we'd love to see some customisation and some choices available in those straps. But with the straps only coming in the grey and the black, we do feel like it would have been good to see some different variations in the colours, and hopefully that's something that Uno will release in the future. Personally, I'd love to see some red straps that I could put on my boots, because I usually wear black boots. I love a black and red combination, as you can probably tell. So we really hope that Uno take that feedback on board, and Playermaker can come out with some new and different colourways on their straps. Setting up the app and getting them paired to your phone literally took me less than 5 minutes. It was a really simple, user-friendly experience. The app is very well developed for the iPhone, and they've just released the Android version as well. So I know that previously the Android version hadn't been developed and it was just the iPhone, but at the moment you can now get the Android or the iPhone version of the app. Both of them that I've seen have been very user-friendly, great for the feedback, and very quick to get set up to. So the quick start guide that comes in the box that takes you through how to set the app up literally will take you less than 5 minutes. The only thing that won't take you 5 minutes is the charging. Make sure you charge those. I usually charge them up overnight and make sure that they're charged ready for the morning and ready for my game. So there you have it, guys, our thoughts on the Uno by Playermaker. An incredible product, a really clever piece of kit that gives you some very specific football metrics and gives you some of the incredible data that you would get from a GPS tracker too. It really is an excellent product with very few downsides, and personally, the one that I got for myself, I have not stopped using since. Me and my little boy are constantly fighting over who's going to get to wear it. The price range may put it out of some people's reach as a quick pickup, but as a birthday present or as a special treat, I really think it is worth the value for money. If you take your football seriously, if you're trying to push your game or your players to the next level, then I would definitely recommend the Uno by Playermaker. If you're looking for more product reviews, coaching tips and tutorials, then please consider subscribing to our channel. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you in the next one.